We're not watching the whole thing because it really doesn't matter. It's the demeanor change. And we're looking at Powell in his emergency meeting for the Federal Reserve to cut rates. And now we're looking at the ECB and its little emergency thing that it had. And this is interesting. So you see Lagarde come in. She comes in loose. She's not hiding. She's looking at people. She's looking around the room. Now she kind of walks stiff anyways. I think it's whatever I'm thinking arthritis. But for someone who normally walks as if they're terrified, clutching things close to themselves, the arms don't sway, the legs don't go out. She's not doing that now. Smiling, checking her clothes, flirting. She's quite happy, actually.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President and I are very pleased.
So she gets into it, takes that big breath in, puts her arms in front of you. But it's not a stress thing. It's kind of like, okay, here we go. I mean, there's a stress in it, but it is not the terrifying, oh my God, the world is ending stress. It's the stress of relief. It's the stress of release too. Now, why would she be in release and relief?
Pleased to welcome you to our press conference. We will now report on the outcome of today's meeting of the Governing Council, which was also attended by the Commission Executive Vice President Valdis Dombrovskis.
And she's also, at this point, she's giving away body language. She's not hiding behind stiffness or portrayal. She's leaning into it. She's going back and forth. She's giving emphasis on words appropriately and not like a robot.
Since our last Governing Council meeting in late January, the spread of the coronavirus, COVID-19, has been a major shock to the growth prospects of the global economy and the euro area economy, and it has heightened market volatility. Even if ultimately temporary by nature,
Now she is petting herself. You see she's stuck her hand inside of her sleeve and she's petting herself. So we're relieving our stress in that way, which is different because before she would hide so much better. It's as if hiding means nothing anymore. I'm going to let you see everything, where my insecurities are, where my stress is at. Whereas prior, she hid even that. So much stress, and now we see as if relief is there. She's still stressed, but she's not even trying to hide it from you anymore.
Will have a significant impact on economic activity. In particular, it will slow down production as a result of disrupted supply chains.
So you see her go up in the chair, straighten out. She goes into what it's going to be doing. I'm going to chalk this up to some of that pain that we see when she's just normal. And usually with people that are in a constant state of pain, they're always adjusting themselves anyways. And we have seen her do that. But it also is a convenient time for it as well, that she is now going to sit up straight. And this is her strength to say, this is what coronavirus is doing.
And reduce domestic and foreign demand, especially through the adverse impact of the necessary containment measures. In addition, the heightened uncertainty negatively affects expenditure plan and their financing. Governments and all other policy institutions.
And then she gives emphasis. You see that, governments, and moves her body with it. She's so loose right now, it's frightening. If you're no longer afraid to hide, oh my God. Let's go look at Powell.
Earlier today, the Federal Open Market Committee announced a 0.5 percentage point reduction in the target range for the federal funds rate, bringing that range to 1 to 1.25%. My colleagues and I took this action to help the U.S. economy keep strong.
Now we see Powell. Those of you used to seeing Powell, he's usually very bookmarked. He's got his paper in front of him and he reads like a robot. Now we're seeing animation. He's got the paper lifted up. You see his forehead move, an emphasis of what he's doing. He's giving better eye contact than what he's done. He's coughing to clear his throat. The image, the self-image that he portrays, he's no longer even trying to do that. There's no mask anymore. It's gone.
In the face of new risks to the economic outlook.
And even when he says new risk, you can see it in his mouth. It's not just a word that he's spoken out to sit there and just kind of like make it flow through the sentences if you don't even hear it. His mouth forms around it to give it emphasis. Hiding the fear is no longer their job. At least that's what we're seeing. Lagarde's not trying to hide it. Powell's not trying to hide it. It's actually looking like relief. They get to speak.
The fundamentals of the U.S. economy remain strong. The unemployment rate has been near half-century lows for well more than a year. The pace of job gains has been solid, and wages have been rising.
And that's the other thing that you see with him as well. I've watched him a whole lot more than I have Lagarde, but he's closing his mouth and letting this you can kind of hear it, a little smack come out. Like he's reading an upbeat, happy story. The entire market is burning to the ground. And these two act like they're on a sandy beach, lounging out in the sun, in relief. One has to wonder, why would such a thing make you so calm?
These strong labor market conditions have underpinned solid household spending.
See, he even sits there and actually turns his body to the side like, ha ha ha.
Which has been the key driver of economic growth over the past year. At the time of our FOMC meeting in January, prospects for continued economic growth remained favorable, and we judged that monetary policy was well positioned to support that outlook. Since then, the spread of the coronavirus has brought new challenges and risks. The virus has afflicted many communities around the world, and our thoughts and prayers go out to those who've been harmed. The outbreak has also disrupted economic activity in many countries and has prompted...
So that's another part, the outbreak, and you see like the tiniest twist of the head, the outbreak. So he gives emphasis on that, the outbreak, but it's not stress. It's like going snowmobiling and someone gave you the bad news. Well, we got to get gas. And your reaction is tilt to the side, shoulders kind of, like, oh, well.
Thank you to Bombards Body Language. If you invited at least one person in February, we kind of feel like, yes, if we can keep doing that, we're going to keep growing and we're going to achieve what we want to achieve, what we all want to achieve together, right? I think is, content freedom, man.
If you'd like to learn more about analysing body language, there is a video course available on Mandy's website for Gold subscribers, where Mandy teaches more about her techniques of deception detection. There's also other content such as the Crime series and Interesting Minds series, available to both Gold and Silver subscribers.
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.